Greetings, this is Berto, and we're back for another episode of 80 Days. So we left off when we were sitting in Suez, which would one day have the Suez Canal. We have 14,000 pounds at our disposal, and let's explore. Let's see what's happening in this little community. So we've found a couple new routes, and that's good. I took a cup of tea in an extravagant little shop in Suez. It was packed to the brim with rich traders and adventurers. Let's talk to them. Small port to the recent opening of the Suez Canal. I was attempting to eavesdrop on an argument. Get some service despite the unruly customers. I've gotten myself into a lot of trouble already. I was attempting to get some service despite the unruly customers when a dark-skinned personage in an impeccably tailored but oil-stained jacket entered. I caught the well-dressed man's eye. And he came over to my table and greeted me in a softly accented French. Olivier Laponte, dirigible pilot at your service, mister. That certainly explained the oil stains. How about Berto, valet and traveler? A traveler, then. My ship, the Camela, departs soon on her maiden voyage. Where is she headed? Mr. Laponte sipped his tea. Not far, our destination is the provincial capital of Khartoum in Sudan. He gave me his card and a vivid description of the Camela. I had no doubt that I could stop Mr. Laponte's airship at the docks if we should desire to travel to that town. Sorry about that, folks. I was just closing my office door. Okay, so, I guess how do we want to go? Do we want to go that way? Thing is, I feel like we're going the wrong way if we go that route. I wouldn't mind actually going through here, like to Baghdad, and this way. I just feel like we're going the wrong way. We're going to have to come back or something. If we do that. So I think we'll actually pass on taking his whatever. Let's see if there's anything in the market here. Muscat. That's pretty valuable Muscat. Maybe we'll take a trip over there. Shipping kit. Water bar. Hand mirror. Bangle. Alright, let's grab a hand mirror. Everything's so far away. Take a look. What was it? Really valuable in Muscat. I don't even know where Muscat is. Muscat. Oh, there we go, right there. We're gonna make our way over there then. So, I don't know. Let's stay in a hotel. Sorry, I was drinking some coffee. The uniformed lamplighters lit the gas lamps as the sun set over Suez, bathing the wide avenues of the city in a smoky yellow glow. I enjoyed this city, without thinking too hard about its curious existence, blooming like a little flower with a desert all around. There's no other way we can go. It's Friday. That's gonna take us a while. It's gonna take a whole week. But I don't want to go the other way. I mean, we can grease the wheels a bit. Oh, he's gonna hate me at the end of this. Well, what do you expect? We're going through the frickin' desert. I mean... Oh, let's just go. We're taking a ship. The dock was crowded with people cheering one and another along. There was much chatter, many embraces. We, of course, boarded in silence. No one paid us any attention. Or now. Perhaps not. I fancy I sensed a pair of eyes fixed on us. We made our way aboard the Mongolia. Perhaps the sight of a true English gentleman is a wonderful rarity in these parts. When I looked about, they were gone. Whoever it was had quickly ducked away. Ah, good. We raised our profile with him a little bit. The steamer Mongolia was built of iron, of 2,800 tons burden and 500 horsepower. She sailed as grandly as a duchess out of port of Suez. Can we truly be departing Africa already? I asked as the buildings retreated into distance. I should hope so, remarked my master, for we have quite a distance yet to travel. My master, I was learning, was as unwavering as a ship's chronometers. I longed to see some warmth. I confess I found it comforting to serve such a reliable personage. Certainly he was incurious and perhaps even indifferent, but he was also dauntless. Without doubt he was an eccentric gentleman upon an even more eccentric quest, but he was my eccentric gentleman, and I was determined to do my duty. Good, because this trip is going to hurt our, oh, we're suffering. We are suffering here. Mr. Fogg spent his days playing whist with Sir Francis, a tall, fair fellow who is an old India hand, as they had said in the trade. It seemed Sir Francis was a decent competition. It seemed Sir Francis was traveling the full distance to Bombay. Good town, he declared. Good artificers, too. On the evening of the second day, we approached the city of Jeddah on the east coast of the Gulf. Are we stopping? I asked a sailor who shook his head. We don't need to refuel so soon. We can get as far as Aden before we need more coal. Still, we appear to slow down, perhaps simply to prevent our wake from damaging the harbor defenses of the town. I was taken by the sudden thought that perhaps we should put ashore here. But I shook my head. Mongolia would take us far fast, and decisiveness was not what Mr. Fogg would want. Oh, well, he hates me. He literally hates me. Oh, well, not much we can do about it. I befriended an extravagantly whiskered fellow passenger who'd introduced himself as Monsier Fogg and evinced a flattering interest in my travels. "You're making a tour of the world in 80 days, he exclaimed, eyes as wide as saucers. It is a wager, I confirmed mournfully. Gentlemen are strange creatures, and given to strange fancies to fill their time. Monsier Fogg looked suddenly rather shrewd. It must be an expensive business, all this travel. My master is a gentleman, for I consider gauche to discover financial matters. Yes, of course, my companion agreed laughingly, though his mustache twitched like a pendulum. All the same, what a singular endeavor. Oh, goody! He went up a bit. Monsier Fogg was the most congenial fellow and possessed of all manners of useful knowledge. I asked him what he knew of the next stop. Is a refueling stop for the European trade with the Indian subcontinent, as you know, though there is a fast boat to Muscat, which is a notorious airship pirate port. Ooh, that's not good. Well, we need to go to Muscat, so... Mr. Fogg dragged me up on deck, saying only, "You will not want to miss this, my friend." Through the sea mist, I saw the immaculate city of Aden, nestled in the caldera of a volcano, bounded by sheer black cliffs and crystal blue sea. My God! I was struck utterly dumb by the magnificent sight, a most unusual occurrence. Perhaps your master would want to see it also. I could send one of the deckhands to fetch him. No, he doesn't like that. Indeed not. I turned to see my master emerging from below decks. I made to introduce the two, but neither seemed interested. Mr. Fogg drifted away along the rail. My master tapped his fingers on the rail with pleasure. We docked and... he was nice. He bumped my hand and remarked, "See you again, perhaps," rather ominously, I thought. Alright. 190? I can sell it for way more elsewhere. Yeah, okay, we don't need anything else. Yes, let's negotiate. Yes. That'll work. Let's hotel here. I lay down to sleep and heard a rumbling through my pillow. It is a train. Extremely unlikely, Mr. Fogg replied. It's more likely to be an automated system for washing linen in the yard outside. As always, my master notices every detail, including every oversight. Let's depart. Oh god, he's gonna hate me. There's nothing I can do. Let's go to the market really quick. I'll never sell this. Let's get this. Maybe that'll help matters a bit. Alright, let's depart. Nope. Okay, yeah, it did actually. Awesome. The larger passenger liner struck out from Aden across the Arabian Sea for India, so we changed into a smaller, faster boat that would hug the Arabian coastline and take us around to Muscat, where we hoped to pick up a fast airship and gain a few days. I'm just going to do whatever I can to make him happy. Mr. Fogg spent the first day aboard our small liner watching the horizon and making calculations in his ledger. I would not say he was concerned. Concern was not his métier, but he was clearly pausing to assess our progress. Let's talk to him. I fear our strategy so far have been less than ideal, but I have no doubt we will adjust them and improve. Just gonna... Good, I'm glad you like me. I was arranging Mr. Fogg's toiletries on the makeshift dresser when he caught my eye in the mirror. I've been contemplating the boat, Berto, he murmured, and it seemed to me that it would be moving with more alacrity. My god, what are these words? What makes you think so? Enough to bring us a day early? Perhaps even two. I believe it would be possible for us to arrive in Muscat today. Fortuitous turn of events, and I said as much. Mr. Fogg nodded. See to it. I retired at the sun after explaining my scheme, leaving me to plot out its execution. The captain. But I discovered from him, as first officer, that he was not a gregarious sort, given to audience with the passengers, preferring to occupy himself with the matters of the boat. Well, I want to speak to the engine crew. Your master is quite right. The boat can do 2 or 3 times the speed, if enough coal is shoveled into boilers, but the captain doesn't like to do it because it wears the engine down faster. I suggested they demonstrate, but they shook their heads. We cannot go against the wishes of our captain. We put out at the next port. I explained I had to try. The men, sympathetic, agreed to put in a word to their chief at the end of the day. 2 days early might be impossible, but saving of 1 could at least still perhaps be made. And now we can sell this. Mr. Fogg woke with some displeasure to find we had not magically arrived at Muscat overnight, but his mood lifted when he looked out the cabin porthole. I waited to see what was pleasing him. He straightened and pointed to the wake of the boat, splashing almost up to the glass. Berto, you have effected this salutary acceleration? I bowed my head most modestly, and saw my master's spirits lift. We will arrive today, he said firmly, a hint of pleasure warming his usually cool tones. Come, we must enjoy the sea air while we have it. We spent an enjoyable day in quiet contemplation of the sea and the coastline. The boat swept magnificently into Muscat harbor just as the sun was going down. On the gangplank, we were stopped by the ship's captain. My men tell me that our little burst of activity was on your account. It was. I replied, and we're most grateful for your assistance. It was my honor, he replied. Godspeed to you, and I wish your sister well. Thank you, I replied. He clapped me on the shoulder and turned away. Those clever buggers. Mr. Fogg raised an eyebrow at me. Oh, good, they've improved, and we're now courageous, and our funds have gone down. We've arrived! So we're going to stop the video here. If you enjoyed it, please click like. If you really enjoyed it, please click subscribe. And tune in again next time when we continue on our journey around the world.